you so much for coming in today, Taylor. I'm just going to go over a few points before we start.
Okay.
So everything we talk about in this room is confidential. There are just a few exceptions to that. So if you would disclose wanting to self-harm or harm someone else,
Okay.
if you would disclose any child abuse, elder abuse, or the abuse of someone who is incapacitated, or if I would get court subpoenaed, I would have to break that confidentiality, but it would only be for the relevant information. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Alright. So what brought you in today?
I'm just stressed out. I'm just really unhappy at my job, and I'm having a hard time finding something else. So, just feeling a little overwhelmed.
Yeah, it sounds like your job's frustrating you right now, and you are having a hard time finding a new job, and so you're just in that kind of angry point.
Yeah.
You want to tell me a little bit more about what's frustrating about your job?
Sure. So right now I'm working through an autism services company, and the kids that I'm working with, they're both 4 years old, and I love the kids. They're amazing, but the company that I work for is just not the best. Like, they're not very great at supporting me in my role. I feel like I didn't really get much training, and I don't know if I totally agree with like how they do ABA therapy.
Okay.
So it's just feeling like I'm just I'm feeling like I'm stuck there because I can't find anything else. It's also a lot of energy, like physically and emotionally and mentally. And I'm going to grad school too, so I feel like I want to find something that's a little less taxing every day.
Yeah, definitely. So it seems like you're not really being supported by your job,
Mm-hmm.
and that's causing some frustration, and you also are having some feelings like you're not sure if the way they operate is something that you agree with.
Mm-hmm.
And then also that, it is just an emotionally taxing job, a physically taxing job,
Yeah.
and you are, very busy with grad school plus this job, and it's putting a lot of pressure on you.
Yeah.
Um,
And I want school to be like my main
Yeah.
focus, my main, where my energy is going, and right now it's just, I'm trying, but I feel like if I had a different job that was more relaxed, less stressful, less energy, I feel like it'd be a lot easier to put more energy towards school.
Definitely, having a high energy job and then going to school, doing homework, that is a lot of work.
Yeah.
What kind of other jobs have you been looking at?
Just kind of all over the place, honestly. I've been trying to search for a library job because
Oh, okay.
I feel like I would love that. My brother's fiance, she works for the West Dallas Public Library, and she makes more than me doing that, just sitting behind a desk, compared to me like wrestling these kids.
Yeah.
So, it just sounds like a great job because I could do homework there. I love books. I love people. So, that would be ideal. But it seems like those jobs are hard to get. Like, they're kind of rare to be available. So, I don't know. That's the problem. I don't even know what else to look for now.
Yeah, it is really hard to know what you want to do when you're trying to move past a different job.
Mm-hmm.
That's a difficult position to be in.
Yeah.
While you are in your current position, what kind of coping skills have you been using to, get past these frustrations?
That's a good question. Honestly, not much. I just try to take it one day at a time and just get through the day. But yeah, whenever I have a full day of work and I wake up, I literally don't even want to get out of bed. I don't want to get up and shower. I just don't want to go. And it makes me feel bad because it's not fair to the kids either that I'm not fully, giving my all.
Yeah.
I'm just exhausted. It just doesn't feel like a great fit. So, I don't know. It just feels really gross.
Yeah, it sounds like you're experiencing some feelings of burnout while you're at this job.
Yeah.
That you are feeling kind of some disillusionment.
Disillusionment?
Yep.
Yeah.
With trying to go to work, and then
Yeah.
it's really hard for you even just to get up in the morning to get ready for work.
Yeah.
And like you said, that that is really hard for you because you do work with clients, with children, and
Yeah.
trying to be your best self.
Yeah, I want to be present for them, but
I'm gonna pause you right there. Can you set a timer?
Yeah. Does it say how long?
Yeah, we should.
It's 5 minutes, okay.
So if you could set one for, like
40?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. That's a good thought. I'm gonna take a sip of water too. Yeah, so like I want to be present for these kids
Yeah.
because they deserve it, but at the same time, it's hard to explain. Like they don't want me there.
Okay.
They don't want to be in therapy. They're
Yeah.
4 years old, and it's like, you know, each session with them is 3 hours. So it feels like I'm fighting these kids for like 3 hours just to try to get them to like interact with me. And it makes me sad because they're just
Yeah.
kids. They like, you know, they should be able to just play and have a good day and not have some older person trying to like throw them around and make them do tasks. And, you know, it's
Yeah.
like, it just feels weird, and I feel bad for them. Like some of them have like school and then like 6 hours of therapy.
That's a lot.
Yeah. So I don't know if I even like agree with the whole system.
Yeah.
And and I can't like express that to my boss because, you know, it's like speaking against what they're doing, but I don't know. I just feel really stuck and like I don't get help.
I don't wanna, not feeling like you're getting any support or help. That probably makes you feel just even more frustrated.
Yeah.
How long have you been in your position?
I started there in May, so what is that, like 7 months now? 6, 7
something
months?
about that. So long enough to kind of have a feel for the situation and to start to feel those, burnout feelings when you're not getting the support you need and,
Yeah.
that you are having a hard time, feeling like, you want the children to be able to play, but at the same time you have to do your job.
Yeah, and it's just like a constant struggle. Like especially one of them, he's just totally uninterested in any toys. Like
Yeah.
even just eye contact is hard with him, and it just makes me sad. It's
Yeah.
hard, and I feel like I'm like an island, because it's just me. Like I just go into the home and just do my best and
Yeah.
leave. And sometimes supervisors will overlap, but it's really not often. So I just like go there by myself and like continue to struggle, and yeah.
Yeah, so with these struggles, is there someone that you are able to talk to about this? I know that you don't really work in like a team setting, so do you have coworkers that you would see, or even just family members or friends that you're able to talk to about the situation?
Yeah, I try to talk to my family and friends, but they
Okay.
don't really get it because they
Yeah.
don't, they haven't experienced like what I'm trying to do.
Right.
And I've expressed like some concerns to my manager, but now she's leaving. She's going on maternity leave and she's not coming back.
That's hard.
Yeah. So, and yeah, I don't know. It's just it's tough, and it's not like I'm making a lot of money there either, which is another issue, and it sounds terrible because it's like I don't want to work for hours because I don't like it, but I need the money, so
Yeah.
it's not a fun position to be in right now.
Yeah, definitely, this is where you're spending so much of your time and you want to be able to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And so that's unfortunate that right now you are, feeling so frustrated about, not getting support and that, at this time you really don't agree with their practice. And it definitely sounds like you are trying to find a new job, but that's a difficult thing to go and do too. So
It takes so much time
Yeah,
and
it does.
energy. And I feel like I've been looking on Indeed just like endlessly, and I'll apply and apply and don't hear back. It's just like, I don't know, it just seems like a never ending search.
Yeah. Well, right now, because you are having a hard time finding a new job, what are some positive things about your current job? Are there things that you do enjoy about it?
Yeah, I mean, the kids themselves are so sweet. They're so cute, and like they are fun to be with when they are engaged with me, you
Yeah.
know, and they like don't mind me being there. So yeah, they're sweet, and like the families that I work with, they're really sweet too, which I know could be different. Like the families
Yeah.
could suck, but they're the moms that I work with are both really sweet. So, and I guess it's sort of nice, like being able to go in and do my own thing and do my best.
Yeah.
Like I'm not held super accountable, but at the same time, then that's bad. So, I don't know.
So you do enjoy the children, you know, especially when they are, you know, working with you on, you know, the activities you are providing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, you're having that hard time keeping them focused. But, you know, it sounds like overall, you know, you do enjoy the families you work with right now.
Yeah.
That's good at least. And, you know, as far as not agreeing with some of the practices, you know, have you talked to your manager about, you know, why they do certain practices?
I feel like maybe I did a while ago.
Okay.
And I guess I didn't like realize how much of it. It's not unethical, but it's, to me, it's like questionable. Just how they run things. Like, so I interviewed for another autism company.
Okay.
And they kind of pointed out some things, like, oh yeah, I'm surprised the place that I'm working for now does that. And, like, for example, like, they'll, I don't know how it's called really, they'll have people, like, overlap and, like, train with a different kid that they don't normally work with.
Okay.
But they only do it for, like, one session. And then if they need, like if somebody calls in and they need somebody to fill in, they'll send you there. But then, you know, you've only met that child once.
Yeah.
How well do you really know them, what they like, what they need, what their goals are, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it just seems like that's a little iffy to me. And also the training as far as like taking data of like how they're meeting goals and stuff. I don't think everybody's on the same page.
Okay.
So then that leads to like inconsistent data. So are they really like being successful with these things, or are we mismarking it? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's weird. And I interviewed for that other place, and they pay like, I think it was $3 more an hour, and they wanted to hire me. But at the time that I interviewed, I was just starting grad school, and I just decided it was going to be too stressful to like start school and a new job.
Yeah.
So I just stayed at this place, and now I almost wish that I didn't. So, yeah.
Yeah, so it sounds like you talked with, you know, this other company that does similar things,
Mhm.
but, you know, these questionable things are coming up that, you know, they do have kind of this odd data system that you're not sure if everybody's doing it the same way.
Yeah.
And that, you know, the clients are being kind of just passed around, it sounds like.
Yeah.
And that sounds very difficult to deal with, especially when you do feel like it's, you know, not the best practice.
Right. And I care about the kids, like they're, and the families, you know, they're paying for these services, and they deserve like consistent and the best services. So.
Yeah, I guess, you know, what would, I guess a good job be to you? You know, it sounds like you're unhappy in this position.
Mhm.
What would be a better position for you?
Honestly, right now, it's hard to say. I don't know, because I used to be working at nursing homes for like 5 years, and I loved that population. I love being in a role where I'm like helping people every day and like making them feel better, making them laugh, and like doing fun things with them, which I'm sort of doing now, but not really. But with that comes so much like emotional stress and baggage, because I like care about the people so much, and I take it home with me.
Okay.
So right now, honestly, like while I'm in school, I'm looking for something more low stress.
Okay.
And just, honestly, honestly just something to get me through school, and it'd be great if it was like in my field so I could gain more experience. That's ideal. And I'm a creative person, so I'd like it ideally to be creative, but I just don't know what else is out there.
Yeah, what it is very difficult searching for jobs.
Yeah.
But, you know, it sounds like your key elements right now is that you want less stress, you want to be able to have more time for yourself to think.
Yeah.
And something that would be, you know, kind of more in like a artsy or creative background
Love
for
that.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that, you know, this current position isn't really meeting those needs for you, is causing some stress and frustration for you right now.
Yeah. Mhm.
And so when you are coming home from work, you know, what kind of things do you do to help yourself, you know, de-stress, relax?
I don't know, not much, honestly. I kind of just come home and I'm exhausted and I just want to lay on the couch. Sometimes I'll try to do the little craft thing I've been weaving, so I just try to do something like that and relax if I don't have homework to do, and yeah.
Sounds like you are trying to bring, you know, that art into your life, you know, with your weaving. That's really cool. And so, you know, with, you know, trying to de-stress yourself, you know, it is hard to want to do more than just lay on the couch. And so it's definitely understandable that that's, you know, one of your main de-stressors is just to go home and sit down.
Yeah.
Especially with, you know, such a high activity job that you're in.
Yeah.
So, what kind of things were you doing, you know, in past positions when you would come home and de-stress? Similar things, or is this kind of a new pattern for you?
Yeah, it's similar.
Okay. No, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I guess, yeah. It just feels like I wake up exhausted, I come home exhausted. You know what I mean? Like it's like a never-ending cycle, and I just feel like I'm just surviving. Like I'm just getting through the day, and I don't have like real energy, and yeah, which could definitely do with like my exercise and diet and all of that.
Okay.
But it's like more time to commit to like prepping meals and taking the time to exercise, which obviously would be amazingly beneficial. I just need to like find the energy to do that and start that habit.
Well, no, it's not easy to find the energy to, you know, prepare meals for yourself.
Yeah.
To find time to just exercise, even if it's, you know, just 10 minutes a day. It's not easy. It isn't. And, you know, this is something that's, you know, been throughout most of your careers, not just recently, correct?
What exactly?
Like that, you feel like you're just surviving.
Yeah.
Or is that a more recent feeling?
It's definitely since switching to this job.
Okay.
There were like periods when working at the nursing home that I felt like that, but overall it felt better there.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so it seems like this job really is affecting your whole life. You know, not only that you're frustrated while you're at work, but when you come home, you are just feeling kind of blah.
Yeah.
That's hard. That's, you know,
Yeah.
not a fun feeling to have.
Yeah.
You know, and trying to find the time to, you know, go and apply for new jobs, that's not easy to either. Especially when you're
when I don't have any
fighting,
energy.
right,
Yeah.
you're fighting with just being able to get up in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is something that, you know, on your days off that you do for yourself?
Aside from schoolwork.
Yeah.
I'm a musician, so I like to try to practice and sometimes write. I've got a lot of random art projects going. Like I said, I've been weaving and I like to paint, and I'm kind of scattered all over the place. But at least I have like creative outlets.
Yeah. And it seems like art really is very important to you. You know, not only do you weave, you also paint, and you're also playing an instrument. That's huge. You know, those are fantastic, you know, ways to relax and to be for yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
And you know, not only can you express yourself in those activities, but they also can bring you some kind of peace of mind while you're doing them.
Yeah, that's very true. It's definitely relaxing to just sit there and weave some yarn through
Yeah.
some strings. It's kind of meditative in a way.
Well, good. I'm glad that you do have those activities for yourself.
Mhm.
You know, those are, you know, huge.
Mhm.
Not to just be feeling like you are just sitting when you're at home.
Right.
You know, and you do sometimes on, you know, the days that you had to have to go to work.
Yeah.
You know, that's hard.
Yeah.
And, I guess, so what are some steps you've been taking, you know, besides looking at like Indeed.com for new
Mhm.
jobs?
Honestly, not much. Like, I
Okay.
get the alerts sent to my phone, you know, if new stuff is posted, so
Mhm.
I'll try to check that, but it's so much. It's like my email is just being bombarded by
Yeah.
these alerts. I tried looking on Milwaukee jobs last night. The problem is I feel like I've run out of ideas of like what to search for.
Okay.
So I don't even know what I'm looking for, which is even more like stuck feeling, you know, because like I know I don't want to be where I'm at, but I don't know what to like look for,
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, I haven't done much aside from like looking online and just trying to like look locally around where I live.
Okay. Yeah, so it seems, you know, not only are you, you know, stuck in your current position, but you're having that hard time even just deciding, you know, what's next for you.
Mhm.
That's not a fun position to be in either.
Yeah.
So what, I guess, what would an ideal new job be for you? You know, is there something that you've always dreamt of being?
Always dreamt of being, I guess, nothing I'm qualified for. And like with school, I don't know. I mean, I've always loved art therapy, but obviously you need a master's to be an art therapist, so, but even, I don't know if there's a position like that, like an art therapy assistant at a hospital or something, or, I don't know, or even like, I guess I would like, kind of like a wellness program coordinator type thing, or
Okay.
something like that. Like that interests me, just finding like resources for people and, I don't know, helping them find services that will help them. I don't know.
Well, but it does seem like you have, you know, ideas of things that you would love to be able to do.
Mhm.
And so maybe you can find some way to, you know, find something out there that would incorporate, you know, wellness or
Mhm.
art therapy, you know, some sort of form.
Yeah. And then the other issue is always pay too. Like everything is just $12 an hour or whatever, and it's like I can't survive.
Especially going to grad school.
Right.
You know, that's a lot of budgeting that you have to do.
Mhm.
Definitely understandable that, you know, that is a big concern.
Yeah. So yeah, that's like